Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm starving. So, if you haven't noticed, I'm not wearing any makeup. And that's okay. Today's video, it's going to be my first impressions video using only e.l.f. brushes. I thought this would be a great video just because I would say one of the top questions that I get from friends and family is about my brushes. What kind of brushes do I use? Where do I get them? How much do they cost? How many do I have? And what surprises me every single time is whenever I give them a brand, the only brand that tends to get recognized is MAC. So I thought, let me see if I can recommend some drugstore brand brushes that are easier and more accessible. Everybody that I talk to wants to look fabulous, but they just don't really want to take the extra time to maybe go to a Sephora or go to an Ulta or go to our local cosmetic store, which we have here, and it's Pinky Rose. So it's easier for them to maybe pick up some brushes at Target or Walmart. And I mean, I've seen e.l.f. at Old Navy, so come on. It's pretty accessible. I've used some e.l.f. brushes in the past. I currently use their blending brush, their blending eyeshadow brush, and I absolutely love it. It cost me, I think, like $3, and I use it every time I use eyeshadow. So every day. There may be better ones out there, but so far I haven't looked, I guess. Actually, I lie. I lie about that. Because I do have several blending brushes and they just don't work the same. I really do love my e.l.f. brush. Anyways, I'm totally getting off topic. Okay, so first impressions, full face using e.l.f. brushes. Let's get started. If you haven't already, you know what I'm gonna say. Please subscribe, and if you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. That really does help me out. I would love to have all of you a part of this little makeup journey that I'm on. So if you're interested to see how the e.l.f. brushes work out, stay tuned. So I don't have anything on my face except moisturizer at the moment. So what I'm going to start off with is this Mario Badducci. It's the Rose Water Facial Spray, which I love. And it smells so good. But some people don't like floral scent. I do. I'm going to keep my makeup today pretty simple. And I'm just going to do what I normally do just so that I could really give these brushes a chance. Picked up some face brushes and I picked up a few eyeshadow brushes. So let's get started. Let's start off with this Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer. This is a really good primer. It's inexpensive. It's drugstore. I don't buy a lot of drugstore, but you know, whatever. Okay, so let's start. I'm hungry. So let's just let that set for a little bit. So the first brush that I'm going to start off with is their Ultimate Blending Brush. So this one reminded me of my Deluxe Buffer that I can't find right now. That's why I picked it up. It does feel kind of shaky though, like it's kind of loose in there. I don't know how I like that. So this brush retails at $6, and I will tell you what the description says. It does say on the website that you can use it for setting powder, bronzer, foundation, concealer, all that jazz, or blush. Because I typically apply my foundation with a brush, I'm going to go ahead and do that today. So today I'm going to be using the MAC's Studio Fix Fluid. Okay, let's see. I mean, I like it. It totally buffed out my makeup. What do you guys think? They didn't have a brush similar to the crown brush that I use to cover my brown spots with concealer. And because the website says you can apply concealer with this, I'm gonna go ahead and try it. So I have these horrible brown spots right here. So let's do that. Okay. I mean, it's definitely weird using a bigger brush, but I mean, it gets the job done. Next up, I am going to highlight a little bit under my eyes. I'm going to use their beauty sponge. So this one retails at $5. It's called their blending sponge. It's not super soft. I mean, it has a little bit of bounce to it. So let's see if this baby does what it's supposed to do. So I'm just gonna highlight under my eyes. Nothing too drastic. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna highlight my whole face. All right, let's see if this bad boy does what it's supposed to. Let me start by saying this is definitely going to be, I think, a preference thing. I like the way that it blended out the concealer under my eyes. What I didn't like about it is that it felt a little too rough. So I felt like it was tugging at my skin more than it should. So I normally use the Real Techniques beauty sponge to blend underneath my eyes, and I really love it. I talked about this in one of my previous videos when I talked about the Real Techniques and the Beauty Blender. I just feel that the Real Techniques sponge stays damp longer and it's softer, and that's something that I want for underneath my eyes. But this does blend nicely. This one may be more for those that apply foundation with the beauty sponge. I typically don't, just because it absorbs a lot of product. Maybe if you want to just buff out your foundation a little bit more. But I feel like this is a little bit too rough for underneath the eyes. But like I said, I think that's really going to be preference. And it's not something that I'm used to. So I don't know if I would reach for this. But who knows? We shall see. One of the other things that I use a beauty sponge for, I use it to set underneath my eyes, and I use it to set, what the heck are these little things? Okay, but I use it to set underneath my eyes, but I also use it to set my whole face. So that's why I didn't buy a powder brush from e.l.f. Let's see if I can use this to set underneath my eyes and my face. So I liked that. I definitely like this end right here for setting my whole face. So maybe I will reach for this. So let's move on. So next up, I have their contouring brush. I am definitely interested to see how this works, just because the brush that I normally use to contour right in here, it's not as densely packed. So we shall see. This one retails at $6. It does say perfect for using with pressed or loose bronzer, powder, liquids, and creams to create beautiful sculpting all over the face. I don't use creams to contour. I use powders just because it's easier for me. Let's see if this bad boy works. Okay, this one, I think for me, it's a little bit too dense. So I think maybe I need to play around with this a little bit more, just because I'm not used to using such a densely packed contouring brush. I'm used to using something like this that is a little bit more fluffy. So definitely something I will play around with, and I'll get back to you guys. Next up is their blush brush, and let me just say that I typically don't use a brush like this. let me show you my blush brush. So this is the blush brush that I normally use. It is definitely larger. This one is gonna be interesting for me, to say the least. This one, it retails at $3. It does say that its tailored design allows for easy maneuvering and precise color application. And it can be used for blush and bronzer. Let's apply some blush. Okay, with this one, this is probably another one that I just have to get used to using because I'm so used to using a larger brush. I do like the fact that it allows for precision application, and it did a really good job blending it out, so I mean, I'm not mad at it. Up next is their highlighting brush, and let me just say that I don't use a brush like this to highlight. I use a fan brush. It just works well for me. So this is a first. So the highlighting brush retails at $3. It does say that you could also use this to contour the face or as a tool to soften and blend cream and liquid colors. So let's try to apply a little bit of highlight. I love the way that it applied my highlight. It looks good. I like it. I like it. Okay, so those were all of the face brushes. Now I'm going to try out the eyeshadow brushes. But first, what I'm gonna do is do my eyebrows off camera. So I'll be right back. So the ones that I picked up were the eyeshadow C brush. So this one looks like an all-over lid brush. This one is their contour brush. So it gets right in the crease for your transition color, or if you're just trying to blend out right in the crease. And then their blending brush. I own this brush. I've owned this brush for a really long time. This is my original e.l.f. brush, and then this is the newer one. The old one is more dome shaped. This one is more flat. We shall see, because I really do love this blending brush. I go in after I apply my eyeshadow, and I always blend the edges just because I don't like harsh edges. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a really simple eye look. I'm gonna start with the contour brush and apply a shadow in my crease. I really liked that. I had the color where I needed it. It wasn't too dense to where it tugged on my eyelid a lot. Really picked up the color and put it just where I needed it to. Now I'm gonna go in with the blending brush. It's going to buff out the edges. I really like this one. I feel that the flat tip is better for blending out the edges. So this one is the eyeshadow C brush. It's flat, so I'm just gonna apply color on my lid. I liked this. It definitely applied the color where I needed it to go. I'm going to use the contour brush again, and I'm just gonna apply some color on the corners of my lid. Okay, I like the way that it applied the product right in the V of my lid. So now I'm just gonna go in with the blending brush and go over it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with the contour brush and just whatever product I'm gonna put on the bottom of my lash line. And then blend it out. Okay, so this is what I have. Let me just throw on some mascara and some lipstick, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have the rest of my makeup on. Okay guys, so I'm gonna say that I give the e.l.f. brushes a 2 thumbs up. Honestly, if you're looking for some inexpensive quality brushes that get the job done, you can't really go wrong with e.l.f. You can find them at Target, you can find them at Walmart. I really love them, and I definitely will be reaching for them more often. So I hope you found this information useful. I hope that you were able to make some decisions on maybe the brushes that you were looking into. Definitely hope that you were able to get something out of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in my next video. So take care. Bye.